Now I would like to make a string bag that would be about the right size to fit an iPhone or other telephone about the same size. You can vary this size depending on what you want to put in it. I also made some little marks here on either side that will determine how large the front pocket should be, and this other piece would be for the back and the flap. So now let's cut our leather parts. For this bag I would like to use some of the hair on cowhide, and in this case I want to get a nice pattern on my flap, so I will make my cutout right about here. Now I already have a straight edge, so I will take a pen and draw around the outside of my pattern, making sure to mark where my front pocket will go. And now we can cut this piece out. I will now cut the parts for my new pouch, and I like to get some nice patterns on the front, so if I cut it right here, that'll work real good. So I'll turn it over, place my pattern on the back. In this case I have a square corner to use down here, so I'll just use my pen and I will go around, as you can see, making sure that I mark the top of the front pocket will go right to here. Cutting this hair cow, you can do it several ways. I like to use the roller knife, and it's just a matter of placing your straight edge where you want it to go and push the knife as you see me doing here. Then it's just a matter of cutting it off. I prefer to cut a rounded edge with the shears, as you see me doing here. I find it easier to do with the shears than it is with the knife. And there's our piece for the front, or for the back and the flap. Cutting the front part is quite easy. Just lay our pattern on a straight edge, mark it with the pen, and mark the places where the top will be, and mark the bottom. Now we can cut this piece out. It's just a matter of using our roller knife and our two parts are ready. Please note I have made two marks in the center of my front part, about 1 inch up and then 3/4 of an inch, and I will take a 1/4 inch round drive punch and I will punch 2 holes in my pattern. These will be the holes we will use for our closer. Now I want to come over to this other edge, and I have made some marks, so I'll have a line 1/4 of an inch in from the edge. And then starting at 1/4 of an inch down from the top of the pocket, I'll mark for a hole 1/2 inch apart. And we will do that to the bottom as well. Next, I will take a 1/8 inch punch, and I'll punch at the crossroads of each of those lines. Now I will take the pattern that I just made and I will turn it over and locate it exactly on the piece. Now I'll take an ink pen and mark all of the holes. When working with hair on cow or hair on calf, it's very important to work from the back, because it's very difficult to see any marks when you're working from the front. I'll also mark the 2 places for our closer. Now we will use our 1/4 inch punch to punch for the closer holes. And then we will use the 1/8 inch punch to punch for the lacing holes. Next, I will punch the lacing holes for the back and the flap. I'll do that now by turning it over. Even though our holes are exactly symmetrical, when we laid them out, it's still a good idea to turn this over to this side. And now with an ink pen, I will also mark the holes. I will not mark the holes for the closer. That will be on the front only. And now I will use my 1/8 punch to punch the lacing holes on the back part. I would like to attach a concho right here on the flap, as you can see, and I'm going to use one that's got completely covered with rhinestones. And now I will turn it over. I have pre-marked a place in the back for my hole. And now it's just a matter of attaching it with the screw that is provided. I have a piece of 1/8 inch suede lace, 72 inches long, so I have attached a lifetime needle to one end. Now I'm going to start from the back and go through the first hole on the top, as you can see. And I will pull this up about halfway, maybe a little less than halfway, and then I will continue lacing with a running stitch, which we will go in and out. And as we finish our lacing, now the ends will become our shoulder string. All we have to do is shorten them up, tie an overhand knot with both ends, and we have our shoulder string. It can be adjusted depending on where you put the knot. We will make our closer out of another piece of the suede lace that's about 12 inches long. I'll go through the two holes. As you can see, I will bring it up, come back, and go through the holes again in the other direction. We can then tie a knot in the other end, just an overhand knot with both pieces. And our closer is ready. And our bag is finished. To close it, simply go over the concho and pull down on the laces, and your bling bling cell phone case is ready to use.